it's Sharon Crean here. Unfortunately, Pete couldn't be with us for today's question and answers, so I'll do my best. He's actually up country doing some building of some school toilets today. So here I have 5 questions that we asked, and if you want to, you can send in more questions. So the first question is, what food do you eat? Well, we eat normal food. If you check out another video, I will show you what's in my fridge. We eat a lot of obviously meat and vegetables. On the weekends we try not to have too much meat. Breakfast could be a few things, so I might have eggs on toast one day, fruit smoothie the next day, and then it might be something like cornflakes, gluten-free cornflakes with banana on it. People often have toast and a coffee for breakfast. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then might do things like toasted sandwiches. What we've done is we've brought over a whole lot of things very slowly over the last 9 years from when we've travelled overseas. So we've got an air fryer, so we have a toaster, electric jug, a toasting machine, a waffle maker. We actually brought some stuff with us when we first came in 2012, and that included an electric wok, which is great for making sweet and sour pork, which we don't have very often. But yeah, we keep very basic meals. There's only the 2 of us, and then when we have friends over, we'll do things like barbecued chicken, might do some steak for them, a whole lot of roast veggies, salad, beetroot, that type of thing. Next question is, do you live in a mud hut? No, as you can see, we're not in a mud hut. And I've got another video I'll put the link to for a tour throughout our apartment, which we call them apartments, we call houses over here. Sometimes we call them units, but mainly just an apartment. It's very, very small. When we first came to Kenya in 2012, we lived in a very large 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, plus a servant's quarter, which is like another little flat. And then over the years, we've slowly come down because prices have increased, and landlords will put up the price every year, considerable amount. So we made the decision after many, many years that we're going to be traveling in and out. So let's just simplify our life. So we've got a little apartment here. It's 2 bedrooms, a bathroom. There's no place for the washing machine. We hand wash our clothes, and yeah, we make it work. So check out that video. A really good question somebody's asked is, when and why did you move to Kenya? So I'll just backtrack a little bit. So I came to Kenya in 2007 on a scholarship tour. I was speaking at schools and trying to get students over, and then I met up with some New Zealand friends that we've known for a long time. Then in 2009 we brought our girls over, and then a few others came as well. 2011, Pete and I and Liz came over. Pete and I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro while Liz volunteered at the School of St Jude's. And we'd already made the decision by then that we were really tired of living in Sydney. A great place, absolutely loved the 11 years there, but we were ready to move on, and our girls were growing up. And so we decided that we would come here, and we connected with our Kiwi friends, and we felt that we have skills that we can offer to other people. So Pete is very, very good at hands-on stuff, building, plumbing, electrician, all sorts. He's really, really handy. Where mine was more business and education side. So we felt we have skills to give to people. So for the first couple of years, we volunteered with another organisation and tried to do Beyond Water on the side, and it didn't work. And then we eventually just took off with Beyond Water here, and since then it's expanded considerably. So it was really just right timing. We didn't do it because we had money or anything like that. It's just that we felt that was the right time. And timing is actually quite important. And we met with some people who gave us some advice and things like that, and it was really great. Great question that came in. Do you get paid? Yes and no. Okay, Beyond Water does not pay us. Pete and I, with some friends, started Beyond Water in 2007, never intending for us to actually move to Kenya. But like I've mentioned before, we felt that was the right time. And also what I forgot to mention is that we were here because we wanted to protect donors' money and make sure it got to that. And you can't do that when you're just flying for a couple of weeks a year, and it is very expensive to fly. So we have very, very generous friends and family who support us each month. Actually, our support over 9 years has gone down considerably, and also the Kenyan shilling is worth as much as the US dollar. So, you know, it makes things very, very expensive here. So that's another reason why we moved to a smaller place. So whatever's in the bank is in the bank, and people get a tax deductible receipt from that. And by the grace of God, we've managed to survive on that. We're not starving, but we live very, very frugally and with the generous support of people. So our car just got a whole lot of work done on it. That was because of HD Projects in Australia. Gave us the money for that, and vehicles here are very expensive to run. So while we have enough to live on, if we do things like dental work, optical, car work, anything big like that, that's right out of the budget. So the next question is, how do you travel so much? Well, there's two things. Pete, when we return to New Zealand, Australia, does a few weeks of painting for people, redecorating, landscaping, all the things that he used to do as a handyman with his business, and that helps towards our travel costs. However, we travel a lot more than what we ever thought, and whether you're a person of faith or not, we are. And I remember once praying before we came here to Kenya, and my first prayer was, God, if this is the most stupidest thing we've ever done, just let me know. I'm still yet to hear about that. The second thing was like, oh God, I'll be a poor missionary and never travel. So I think God kind of laughs every time we do travel, because he's like, ha ha ha. It's to show that he's still on our case and still able to provide for us. So we try when we travel to stop in places where we have friends. So often we'll stay with friends, and we'll try and do it on stopovers. So we've got great friends, Michael and Farah in Dubai. We try and stay with them. Sometimes it'll be in the US. We'll try and do a round the world ticket. Depends on whether it's cheaper or not. We always travel cheap, and people go, well, why don't you just travel and use your air points? The thing is, I love traveling with Emirates, so does Pete, but their prices are so high. And with COVID, prices have really skyrocketed. So that's why sometimes it takes us maybe 3 days to get to Aussie or New Zealand, because we've either brought separate tickets or we have done lots of stopovers. Now, when I had my DVT, that's deep vein thrombosis on my leg, it means that we have to adjust our travel plans a bit more, because I need to be walking a lot more so it doesn't happen again. And even though it's a couple of years on, my legs still ache considerably. So we have to consider those things. But a big thing when we travel is baggage, because we always bring merchandise with us. Of course, when we're speaking, people buy it, and that goes towards paying for our staff that we have here. So how do we afford to do it? Very carefully. So it was cheaper for us when we were stuck in New Zealand last year for us to actually buy, and it was with Emirates, cheapest for us to get a return ticket. So we'll be returning in May 2021. That was cheaper for us to do, but we actually had a ticket already booked with Oman Air, but because of COVID, they weren't flying from Australia, and we couldn't even get to Australia at that stage, so we had to re-buy a new ticket, and a year and a half later, we're still trying to get our money back from Oman Air. So lots of homework. Most people at night, they watch TV and things like that. I do things like look for cheap flights and how we're going to plan things. A lot of planning goes into it. That's how we do it.